Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead discussion topic, Q&A type of video. In this one, we're going to start with me giving my thoughts on Henry Rollins confirming that he did, in fact, audition to play Negan. So as usual, spoiler warning if you're not caught up on The Walking Dead. So this one threw me through some kind of crazy loop. I'll put the link in the description for you guys to undeadwalking.com, great resource for Walking Dead news. Daily Dead's also really good, dailydead.com and thewalkingdead.com, comicbook.com, lots of great sites out there with info. But this one, Henry Rollins auditioned to play Negan by Adam Carlson. So this is crazy, man. I had no idea that he actually did read an audition for it. Of course, we know, as we saw in the finale for season 6, Jeffrey Dean Morgan got the part for Negan. But this is so weird. Listen to this. Okay, so the quote says, "Since I didn't get the part, I can tell you this. I was up for the role of Negan because Charlie Adlard, who worked on the comic book, based that guy on me, and so I was a shoo-in for an audition." On the comic book, I'm going to shoe in for the audition. The internet was wild with speculation. Oh yeah, it was. I was part of that shit. I posted videos on that shit right away once I heard about that crap. I guess in a Q&A, Charlie Adlard said that Robert Kirkman had said that just make him look like Henry Rollins, and because Henry Rollins is also from Washington as well, D.C. The internet was wild with speculation because in the upcoming season, they were going to introduce the character. A woman that works in my office put my name in and the character's name into an internet search, into a Google search, and all this speculation came up. When I went for the audition, and there were 5 pages of really cool dialogue with all these curses, and it was beautiful, but I didn't get it. What? I'm just like, reading this is crazy, man. Negan is a complicated character. Many of the things he does in the Walking Dead comic book series aren't necessarily evil, but he definitely has no problem crossing the line and doing bad things to help him and his people. Thankfully, Rollins was open about not getting what the character of Negan was all about. Many people, well, he's you. That's why you're not getting it. He's you, man. I mean, not get it. Look at the fucking mirror, man. That's Negan. He is you. For fuck's sakes, this is crazy shit, man. Okay, so then it says, I later saw a photograph of the guy who did get it, and he looks almost exactly like the comic book rendering. He looks almost exactly like you, man. The woman at my office watched the episode where he turns up. The dialogue that I auditioned with was in the show, and she said, "It should have been you." Obviously it wasn't, or this conversation would be very different, but that happened. I had to sign one of those documents where you can't talk about it, but now that it's over and done with, so yeah, I was up for that part. Dude, I don't swear a lot, but what the fuck, man? How did they not take... Okay, this is one of the weirdest things I've ever heard. So, okay, the part, or the character is based, at least... This is me. This is what I've heard. Okay, you can ask Robert Kirkman if you want to know more specifics. But my interpretation was from what I had read and heard in interviews through the Comic-Con and everything, where Charlie Adlard was talking about Negan and his look and everything, and the way he was to draw him and everything. And also the fact that Henry Rollins is also from the exact same place as Negan is, where Negan shows up in the comic book series and the TV series in Washington, D.C. And also the fact that he dresses pretty much just like Henry Rollins. And he looks exactly like him, and, everything. This is one of the weirdest things I've ever heard. The character is, based on Henry Rollins. Negan is based on him. How could he not get the part when the character is based on him? It's like, what the fuck? Okay, so Jeffrey Dean Morgan is great. He's a great choice for Negan. I don't have a problem with that, And I can see maybe they decided to go with him for the comedy aspect. Maybe that's why. Because it certainly wouldn't be for the hardcore aspect. It would not be for the scary part. If you ask me who would have done better in the finale episode in terms of fear, who would have been scarier, who would have done better. Jeffrey Dean Morgan did a good job for who he is. But the character's based on Henry Rollins. Like, it would have been awesome to see him play. It would have been even better than it was, I think. And just like the person that he's talking about here, like when he says here, the woman at my office watched the episode where he turns up. The dog that I auditioned with was in the show and said, "It should have been you." Yeah, especially after watching the finale episode, I can say for sure that I think that Henry Rollins' performance as Negan would have been even more crazy and scary and everything than Jeffrey Dean Morgan's was, which was very reserved and very kind of relaxed and everything. I definitely think I would have enjoyed Henry Rollins' kind of a flavor to that a little bit better than Jeffrey Dean Morgan's, because Henry Rollins is the type of guy that he'll get in your face, he'll get crazy, he'll yell, he'll scream, he'll do this kind of different stuff, and he's very intimidating. I mean, like extremely intimidating. So this is really weird. Maybe we'll never know why AMC, Kirkman and them, they may never release a statement as to why they didn't go with Henry Rollins or why Jeffrey Dean Morgan was chosen instead. The only thing I can think of is maybe they felt like Jeffrey Dean Morgan might be a better choice for the character because of his experience kind of in comedy and dark comedy and that. And probably, of course, being in Watchmen as the comedian. And it also his smile, too. His smile is quite comic booky, I'd have to say. And very, very accurate to kind of the way the art looks. But definitely, in my opinion, so maybe what I'm saying is maybe for the comedy part. But I personally find Henry Rollins to be hilarious and to be really, kind of intense. He brings more intensity than I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan has so far or does. So crazy stuff, man. You guys can write below what you think. Do you think it would have been better with Henry Rollins? With me, I'm like, as much as I loved kind of the first appearance of Negan watching the finale and everything, even though we didn't get to see who he kills and everything, I would have to say, I go out on a limb and say that I think it would have been even better had they have chosen Henry Rollins. And as good as Jeffrey Dean Morgan is, I am totally confused as to why they didn't choose Henry Rollins, since the character, especially the look of the character and everything, is pretty much based on him. And he's also done comedy too. So, like, what am I even saying that Jeffrey Dean Morgan might be better for the comedy part when Henry Rollins does stand-up comedy? He's hilarious. So, almost in every way, I think it'd probably be better if they would have gone with Henry Rollins. So, write your comments below. Let me know what you guys think about this one. This one's absolutely nuts, and we'll get into some more of your questions. I'm kind of disappointed, man. I would have liked even more to see Henry Rollins play Negan, man. Oh, man, crazy. And next question is from Enigma Entertainment. I think it's a pretty good one. He's comparing Game of Thrones and Walking Dead again, because people in my channel like to argue about that. That's fun. Hey, Trev, who do you think has the better Season 6, Game of Thrones or The Walking Dead? Personally, I still think Walking Dead is on top. Absolutely. I think Walking Dead Season 6 is one of the best seasons of a TV series I've ever seen. And, of course, Game of Thrones Season 6 is not over yet. We still have 2 episodes left this weekend and next weekend. I think it's pretty safe to say, for me anyway, Walking Dead Season 6 is my favorite season of a TV series ever. I think it beats out Season 5, at least for me anyway. It's still an incredible season, even though people are still kind of salty about the finale. Next one's from Freeland256, and he says, Trev, love your videos. I posted a comment in your Ezekiel love interest video, but I thought I would email you too. Might the writers change Ezekiel from the comics and make him gay? If so, his love interest might be Jesus, who someone told me is gay. Thanks. Well, yeah, at least in the comic book series version. The TV series version, we don't know for sure. Not yet, anyway. But that's a good question. They could make Ezekiel gay, and also because he would fit nicely as a gay character, because he's very flamboyant, he's very dramatic, he's into the drama and all this kind of stuff, and he loves to kind of dress up and act like they're in sort of the medieval times, and he's very kind of outgoing, and he kind of strikes me as somebody who could be kind of, into that. That being guys. So I can picture Ezekiel as gay for sure. Yeah, that's not a bad call there, man. We'll see. That could be funny. So we'll see if they do that. But most likely, probably not. But there's a chance. Tyreese Williams says, "Hey Trev, I have a video suggestion that hopefully you can take into consideration. Back in All Out War, you did a Negan death predictions video on when you think he will die in the comics. I would like to see you do an updated death prediction video for Negan in the comics. In the show, Negan dying is not even a question right now, but in the comics, the way things are at the moment, I wonder if we will see the death of Negan soon. Just hoping you take this into consideration, and thanks for the great work in the channel." Tyreese Williams. So that's a good question, man. So do I think Negan's going to be killed off? So I'll tell you what. If I do the video giving my thoughts on the Whisperers War, then I'll let you know if in that video if I think Negan's going to be killed off. Now I really got to think hard about it, because I did think Negan was going to be killed off earlier on in the series, and kind of like the Governor was. The Governor, he had his time and he was killed off, and that's how that went. With Negan, that hasn't been the case. So. I'm wondering now, like, is Negan going to be a long-term survivor, like permanently? Like, is he a permanent villain, or will Rick kind of change his mind and want to kill him in the comic books? So we'll see. And of course, the TV series could be totally different with regards to all of that. So we'll see what happens with that. Next one's from Mick O'Reilly. He says, "Hey Trev, do you think The Walking Dead will continue to do 16-episode seasons until the series eventually finishes?" That's a good question. And we'll do like one more after. So I think so, man. I think that 16 is like what they want. It's probably as many as they can do without burning everybody out and screwing up the show. So I think that that's probably what they'll stick with until the series eventually does end. I think we can pretty much bank on 16 episodes a year. And then, of course, Fear is kind of their way of getting a little bit more out of The Walking Dead to get, that turns it into 31 weeks a year, so 15 and 16. And, of course, 52 weeks a year. So more often than not, we're getting new episodes of Dead, be it Fear or the regular. So it's pretty awesome. And the last one for this one will be from Twisto Goopru. And he says, "Hey, Trev, would you consider reviewing the new AMC TV series Feed the Beast? I watched the first 3 episodes, and I'm really hooked. Keep up the good work. Cheers." So Feed the Beast. I don't know, man. Doesn't that have David Schwimmer? Is that the guy's name who plays Ross on Friends? This is the problem with typecasting, man. It's like you get an actor or an actress who they're in something in particular for so long, like Hayden Christensen, for example, or Mark Hamill or somebody like that, who's in a huge role, an iconic role. It's really hard to picture them in another role. I can't picture him in a serious role at all. So for me, it's like, I don't really want to watch that. Maybe if he wasn't in it, because it just throws me through a loop, because Friends was on for so many years when I was growing up on TV, like every night on weekdays and stuff. I wouldn't always watch it, but I've seen it. It's fun. It's a fun thing to watch if you just want to kind of relax and shut your brain off for a while. Friends is a fun show to do that with. It was never hardcore into it or anything, but I can't picture him being like in a serious role like that. Also, I'm not a big restaurant guy. I don't really go to restaurants that much, and I'm not big on food. I eat because, of course, I have to, and just move on with the day. I'm not big on food or restaurants or anything. So for me, it doesn't really appeal to me, but maybe I'll check it out. If I do, I'll review the premiere, but don't get your hopes up, because it's not really my thing personally. So and that'll be it for today's Q&A, guys. Definitely want to hear your guys' responses to this. Write your comments below on the Henry Rollins auditioning for Negan and not getting it. It's pretty crazy, man. Unless maybe they felt like Jeffrey Dean Morgan's a better overall actor, and thus maybe they chose him because, of course, Negan will be in the series for a long time, too. So that's something to consider, too. So I'm not sure. But write your comments below. Let me know what you guys think about this, or maybe some of you think it was a good choice to go with Jeffrey Dean Morgan over Henry Rollins. Let me know. Write your comments below. And if you guys like this video, please thumb it up below. You can also share and favorite. And if you're new and you want to sub, you want to subscribe, you can subscribe at the bottom left. Send me any questions for another Q&A soon, guys. I'll probably do one in the next couple days. That's it for this one. It's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See ya.
You better subscribe.